Okay, everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's where it gets pretty exciting. This is where we started getting into Airbnb. So if you've looked at our last videos, you'll know how we got this $50,000 home to begin with. If you haven't seen that, check out our previous videos to let you know how we ended up getting where we are here. This is still in 2018. Okay, so 2018, we bought this home for $50,000. We had to put we had to put 10% down, which is only $5,000, into a home that was already paying for itself with an existing tenant. I didn't have to go in there and do anything. He was happy with the way things were. I just had to show up with $5,000, and then I was getting a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It was a residential home, and he was a long-term tenant. The bank is the one who told us, Eric, if you want another property, you're approved for one. Our bank will lend up to 2 of these 10% down homes or investment properties or vacation homes. I thought, score. So I did a lot of research. I got on Airbnb and wanted to check out the market. So fast forward or rewind probably a year or two before then, my wife and I stayed in San Antonio, Texas with some friends in our very first Airbnb. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, how is this someone's home but they're letting us rent it? This is so weird that, someone's just renting out their home for this. And so people can have a group meeting together and all meet in Texas. And anyways, that just was interesting to me. And so when they told me about only needing 10% down, and I jokingly said, oh, so if I found a cabin up in Island Park, you're saying all I need is 10% down? And she said, yeah. Thought, oh, light bulb. So I started looking at cabins and what they were renting for, and then I just did a ton of research. So I checked out Airbnb, checked out the housing market, and did some comparisons. I wanted to know, what could I earn if I rented it out as much as what these ones are renting? So I would jump on Airbnb. This is before they had AirDNA. They had just basically the website, and I would pull up people's calendars, and I would look what was blocked off in the summer months. I know this wasn't really a foolproof idea, but it gave me a rough idea on what was most likely booked out. This could have all been blocked out just for their family, and they could have been making no money. But I did a lot of research, and I looked at everyone's calendars, and almost everyone was booked around the same times, and they were really full in the summer. And I would count how many days this one cabin was getting, how much they were charging, and then I times all that together and thought, these people are making $20,000 for this little cabin a year. I thought, man, that's so cool. And so I did more research, and I started looking at cabins that were for sale. How much were the cabins going for? Now, again, this is in 2018. I know you're not going to be able to find this today, but the numbers still don't lie if you can charge a higher amount to compensate for the mortgage. So when I was looking at this, our very first cabin we bought was for $140,000. It was listed, I think, for $145,000. We talked them down a little bit. And so I just had to show up with $14,000 of my own money. Now, you could do that with a home equity line of credit. If we were, at the time, we were sitting on good equity on our home, but we didn't. We just had savings, and we thought, we can do this. It's scary, but we can do this. The mortgage on this is going to be about $700 something a month. And then I figured we're going to need internet, we're going to need utilities. It's on a well, but we still need to pay for all these extra things: taxes, insurance, utilities, internet. What if something breaks? And so I figured what we needed in order to do a worst case scenario, and this is very key, is not to shoot for the stars and say, we're going to make this much money and things are just going to work out perfectly. No. Do a worst case scenario, because things are going to happen. Things are going to break. Things are going to show up that you weren't expecting. So be safe when you are running the numbers. And so we figured, okay, we need $1,000 a month, or we need $12,000 a year to just break even. And I thought, if I had a cabin that was being paid for by itself, and I'll one day own that, but everyone else paid for it, that's a win for me. That's all I was looking for at the time when I was looking at a cabin. I've always dreamed of having a piece of land up in Island Park and then building on it maybe a shop with some living quarters and then building a dream cabin. That's always been my dream for a long time. And so, but this was a pretty cool idea because all I needed was 10% down. Other people are going to pay for this cabin and I'll one day own it. And so I thought, okay, I need 100 nights to be rented out for the year at $125 a night. And so I thought, I think that's doable. It was still scary to us. We didn't have a whole lot of money. We had the rents coming from an office space and another office space, and that was helping a little bit to help here if needed. If this thing tanked and no one showed up to rent from us, we could kind of have a little bit of a safety net here. And so my wife and I, we were kind of nervous because we were looking for something that we could even build equity into. So we didn't shoot for the stars when we were getting our first place. We looked for a dump, and we found a dump. And that's what we got here, was this cabin. But it was in a beautiful location. Huge tall trees, had an upstairs bedroom, had a lot of potential. And so we thought, okay, we're going to have to spend about $10,000 upgrading this place, getting new flooring, new paint, new bathroom, new kitchen, just doing a lot of stuff to it to make it good. And you guys, we did everything wrong getting started, but it was still successful. I didn't turn it on until the middle of July, which is crazy that I didn't. Looking back, there's so many things I would have done different, knowing what I know now, but you don't know what you don't know. And so, so we started the middle of July. I said, okay, now I'm going to upload my pictures. Now I'm going to put it on the market instead of pre-listing it, getting a bunch of rentals already set for when we were ready to launch the day. Or we didn't even really push ourselves to like make it before June because we bought this place. I want to say it was in like February or March. And so this is our fourth property for the year that we bought in 2018. And so we just kind of went up and it was really good for our family. We had a great time. We'd do sledding, we'd hang out. We had a cabin that we could fix up on our own. It really helped our kids be involved. We spent a lot of quality family time together. It was a really, really cool experience. And I thought, this has been great for our family, having this cabin to go up to and to go and enjoy. And so once we started doing research, ran our worst case scenario numbers, I wanted to know, this probably goes up here, is going on YouTube and looking up how to even host, how to even get started. There's so many people out there giving all this information away. You don't have to sign up for a course. You don't have to do any big long seminar. Everyone's giving this information away for free on the internet and on YouTube. Give you some ideas. All I had to do was just be a copycat. You did not have to reinvent the wheel. I just repeated what they did and we were successful. So we turned it on the middle of July and it started booking like crazy. And I thought, I'm gonna up from $125 a night to like $150. Holy smokes, people are still paying that. $175, $200 a night. I'm like, oh my goodness, people were still booking. And I told my wife, I said, we were so scared in the beginning and we were so nervous that anyone was even gonna come. But in those first couple months, it started going like crazy. And I turned to my wife and said, Misty, look at all these rents on my phone. I said, look at that. We have 9 months worth of our expenses within like close to 2 or 3 months. And I said, we need to find another one of these. And she turned to me and said, yeah, we do. So we'll tell you about our second cabin and how we were able to transition and the really good deal that we got on that and how negotiating can really save your bacon when you use the listing agent on that property. So stay tuned. Make sure to give this video a like. Please share this video with anyone that you feel could use it. And please comment below any other topics, ideas that you think you'd like to hear about. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.